I'm just going to tell you how it is and what has worked for me throughout my life. And I have a sleeper side hustle that I don't know why, but nobody talks about. And I am telling you, I lived most of my life doing this before side hustles had a name. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Some of these you are familiar with, but I'm going to give you my take on them because I have actually done them. Probably not going to get rich from them, but you may be able to supplement your income. And that's what I'm doing now, getting ready for retirement, and I'm just going all in. So I'm doing some new things, but the tried and true, I'm going to let you know about in just a few. So the first thing I want to talk about is the obvious. I'm on YouTube, right? So I started YouTube a few years ago, and this is a new channel, so obviously it's not creating any income for me right now. But I have another channel that I started about 3 years ago. It's called Holiday Backgrounds, and it makes background videos. Like I put happy birthday backgrounds and Christmas ones, holidays, hence holiday backgrounds. So I started that about 3 years ago, and that does produce income for me. It is so nice because it was really hard to get it going. It was a little exhausting, but it's kind of on float mode now. And I just make, videos here and there, at least one a week. But it kind of just feeds itself. It's got an audience, and people are using it. And I make about $500 a month off that consistently. But then during the holidays, and right now during graduation, when people are using a lot of different backgrounds, during the holidays, I made about $1,500-1,600 a month. And right now it's going up about, I want to say $700-ish. So anyhow, there's hills and valleys, but consistently it is about $500 a month. And now like I said, I don't have to do a lot. And it doesn't get a lot of subscribers because most people watch those on the television, but it's got 2.5 million views at this point. I've got some really good videos, and it's producing income. So that is something that anyone can do. I have another channel that I started about the same time, and it's a decor channel, decorating, home decorating, that kind of thing, which is my passion. It's something I love to do, but what I'm noticing is I'm just exhausted. I can't really endure it. It's very difficult. So I'm just making a video here and there, and it's not going anywhere, obviously, because that doesn't work for YouTube. You kind of have to be all in. So, I'm kind of fading out of that. And that's why I wanted to start this channel, because it's just a lot of work physically for me, trying to film, trying to set up, trying to get the decorations, the decor. And I'm finding it, as I'm aging, just to be too difficult. So that's why I wanted to start this channel, because I feel like I have a lot to give. I have a lot of unique life experience that I'm going to be sharing throughout my journey on this channel. And just like this here, my side hustles that I've done throughout the years, and some new ones. But I have some value there, and I want to share. So this one's not producing income. Obviously, it has to grow, and I know it's going to take time. It may take 2 or 3 years, and that's okay. I'm willing to do it. I have my other channel, and it's floating. So YouTube is a really good option for people to do at home, and there are, harder channels. There's easier channels. You can choose what you want to do. The other thing that I do, which is kind of new, I started kind of playing around with this about a year ago, watching videos on KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing through Amazon, where you can publish books. Well, just because, like with my backgrounds, I like to create designs. So I started making these notebooks. Well, in the early days, they sucked. They were horrible. And I didn't even, I listed them, but then I took them down. So they're horrible. But recently I started back up, and I just kind of got this vision in my head. And so I started doing these notebooks. Well, with Amazon, you can't just list your notebooks and expect them to sell. They're not gonna. It's so flooded. It's impossible to be found unless someone's looking for you. But what I started doing was doing TikToks with my notebooks, and it started producing sales. So I have proven the concept, and I'm going to continue going with that. So it's producing another income. It's kind of small right now, but I've seen what can happen just through one TikTok video. So I'm going to continue to do that and grow that. So that's a new side hustle that I have proven concept on. So anyone can do that too. All of these side hustles are things that you can start today with almost no money. Some of them no money, like YouTube and KDP. There's no money there to get started, and you can just start in your free time. That's that. And then I've written a book. Now that was not quick and easy, and I did that. I started that about 9 years ago and just published it a couple years ago. It produces a small income too. It's a private memoir, and it's not something that I just flash around and share, because it is very private and it deals with a sensitive subject. But all the same, it's a book. Anyone can write a book, right? Again, you put it on KDP, and if you go out and promote it, then you're going to get sales. I just don't feel comfortable promoting this book because of the content. I probably will start promoting it on TikTok, but I wouldn't feel comfortable promoting it on YouTube. Something else that I have done throughout my life, even when I was raising my kids in my 20s, decades ago, I started going to garage sales. And back then we had little nickel one ads, and then Craigslist came out. And I used to go to garage sales and buy things and resell them. I did it forever. I would even sometimes just load up my garage and then have a garage sale. And I made money, and it just kept me going. And when I was at home with my babies, I would supplement, my finances with that. So it works. I've been doing it for decades, and now I do Facebook Marketplace, of course. And I know you've heard this before, but I'm not flashing real huge numbers at you. You could become rich, I suppose, off of it. But reality, right now, I'm telling you, I make about $500 a month just doing it here and there. And it's very here and there. Like Macy's had a closeout sale. I went and bought a bunch of stuff from them, put it on Marketplace, and I made a lot of money from that. And I sell things around my house too, because I'll buy something and then I'll use it for a while and then I'll just relist it. And I always make more than what I paid for it. So it's just this constant conveyor belt of money coming in from Facebook Marketplace. And I've always done that. So it works. It's not a huge income, but all these little things add up. And it's not like I'm working, endlessly. I do work a lot, but mainly on YouTube trying to grow a channel. But these other things, they're just on the side and they work. So I don't know. I'm just giving you my feedback. I'm going to give you the sleeper one now because I am so confused. Like I said, I've been on YouTube for 3 years. I do not hear this pop up ever. And I don't know why. It's so confusing to me. So I started cleaning houses when I was in high school. And then it evolved over the years, just word of mouth. And I ended up getting into commercial cleaning. And I started commercial cleaning. I did it for decades, I'm telling you. And right now, my full-time job is a property manager. And these people want somebody. It is the one business that there's so much demand for. And there's so much profit. It just costs nothing to get started. A couple $100. You need a business license. You need some insurance. And the insurance is really cheap. But the commercial is really where it's at. There's a little more competition when you do commercial. But it is a lot easier. We don't have bathtubs and ovens and shower stalls and all that really hard stuff. It's pick up trash, dust, vacuum, some mopping, it's really easy. But why aren't people doing this? I'm so confused. I'm telling you, I am not lying. 20 years ago, I was making $50 an hour doing this. it was the way I survived. I did it, I want to say 25 years, I think I did this on the side. So even if I had a job, I had cleaning in the evening that I did. And the income was great. I cleaned a church for, I think, 18 years. It was $800 a month. Now we're talking $800 a month, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And I only had to clean, I want to say 4 or 5 hours a week. And I could come and go whenever I want, as long as it was done before Sunday. I could bring my kids. My kids came with me when they were little and, went around on the little scooter things in the sanctuary. They didn't care. They got to know my family. And it was a great side hustle. I also added other offices to that. And it got me through many, many years. And it pays so well. That's the part I'm confused about. Now, if you go work for a cleaning company, you're not going to make any money. You're going to make a low wage, but it's so easy just to go get licensed and go get your own jobs. Once you start working, the word of mouth is fast. It's very fast if you are good. And I was good, and I ended up doing very wealthy houses and good businesses because I was good. I was detailed, and I did things that other people didn't do, like fold the toilet paper and, just make all the pens on the desk line up parallel. And I just did all these things. So people loved it. They loved that kind of service. And I was paid top notch, and I got great tips, everything. It was very profitable. Why am I not doing it now? Because I'm almost 60 years old, and physically, if you see my other videos, I have a disability that puts some constraints on me, and I would not be able to physically do that every day for hours and hours. I just could not do it. But even if you just had one cleaning job, one that you did, once or twice a week or every evening or something like that, you can't make that much money doing anything else. It's crazy. But nobody talks about it. I just wanted to share these with you and give you some ideas of things that have worked for me, and hope that it inspires you in some way. And maybe you'll supplement your income in a very realistic way. Like I said, there's no fluff here. I'm just telling you realistic numbers, realistic things that have worked for me. And they could work for you too. So you've done some of these. I'd like to hear, how they work for you, especially the cleaning. I want to hear how many people have done that. Because like I said, it is not all over YouTube. It's bizarre to me because it pays more than any of these other things that people are doing, like Uber. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing, God, I do this every time I say that's it and I'm going, and then I just start going off. But, DoorDash, oh my God, you do that, and the wear and tear on your vehicle and the amount of money you get does not pay for the wear and tear on your vehicle. No way. It is not worth it. You have gas too, of course, but the wear and tear, no. When you got to buy them brakes and you got to buy them tires and, everything else, the mileage it puts on. So when you go to sell your car, you get less money. You made nothing if you think about those things. And I'm not knocking it. Sometimes you need quick cash and you just got to go do it. I've done it. But these are things that work long term that you can just incorporate in your life. They don't take a lot of energy, and, it just starts flowing in. It really does, especially the marketplace and the cleaning. My God. But YouTube's great too. All of it. Anyhow, I gotta shut up. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. And I'd love to hear some feedback. Thanks. Bye.